Yo, I'm just recovering some inconsistencies and incorrect information provided in the new Angry Bird video. There's a couple here and there on Deejay. I just want to make sure you guys aren't going to die at home to some Deejay bullshit. I'd happily laugh my way to the bank, but everyone improves together. So if I start doing bullshit, and you know what you're doing, I'm not going to improve. Let's get to it.
Your best move here is driving back. See? He can't go back and then do impact. He'll still get hit, but not punish counter. He'll get hit, counter hit. Do you guys see what I mean?
First things first is just cool after crouching medium kick. Angry Bird shows that you can drive impact afterwards to try and counter hit the just cool or punish counter it if Deejay goes for a follow-up. He also shows neutral jump as an option. However, at far range or a space crouch medium kick, even minorly spaced, that just cool will move out of range of drive impact, and sometimes against certain jump attacks be out of range of the punish of the jump attack. Few characters can ignore this, but a lot of characters can't. Be wary of your options. Do not fall into the trap of doing drive impact there every time. You may just get whiff punished. First, we'll show the neutral jump. Whiffs. Up close, it would not whiff. Let's show drive impact. Up close, you can see I get counter hit, punish counter. I've added a slight delay here to mimic what Angry Bird showed in the video. With no delay, an immediate drive impact would always counter hit the just cool. Something like this can occur.
The medium is -3, right? The medium is -3.
The small one. In Angry Bird's video, he says that Deejay's stand medium punch tie combo is -3. It's in fact -2. This is important for taking your turn back, as the tie combo can be quite easily spaced and be a frame trap without doing the final hit. As you can see here, -2. And by delaying the medium punch, I can add a 1 frame gap up to a 4 frame gap.
You do this, you will hit him. And if you see him, you can jump cross up. You mix him up. He has to do parry this, perfect parry to back throw you.
One thing Angry Bird shows in this video is Ken's jump fierce. Now this is not an incorrect statement, it's just a bit of an iffy statement with not much elaboration. So I'm here to elaborate the situation. Ken can do jump fierce against Deejay without charge, and it will work against his back heavy kick anti-airs, as well as trying to go for air to airs and jab anti-airs. This is unfortunate, but something Deejay can do is crouch underneath it. It's a very risky option, as if you get hit, it's a full jumping combo coming. But against an early jump fierce, it's 100% consistent if the jump fierce were to beat your anti-air. If it were to beat your anti-air, it's going to hit. I'll show it here. You'll see me crouching underneath the jump in, you'll see it won't hit. So the same range Angry Bird was showing in this video, it's going to hit. It's back heavy kick, it might whiff, might trade, most likely not, it's going to lose. If I crouch, I completely avoid the jump fierce because it runs out of active frames early enough. It's a very, very situational answer, but it is an answer to the situation.
Every time, like that. Don't let him pressure you.
We're going to get some OD just cool stuff. Deejay will generally do OD just cool from a cancel and not do it raw. If he does it raw though, Ken's like Tatsu will work against every single option. Against no follow-up, it's going to punish counter. Against low, it's going to interrupt and trade. Against the overhead, same. Against the high, same. And the dash does not low profile it. But if there's any button to start with, Tatsu's going to whiff. And Tatsu's going to leave you very punishable. If you're playing a character with a 4 frame DP, it may work against the low. But it's not going to work against no follow-up. Universally, every single character can DI every single follow-up except the dash and the no follow-up. Here we go. Beats the low. Beats the overhead. We'll make sure you show it beats the overhead. And beats the high. Does not beat me just doing this though. And DI it back. And doesn't beat me doing dash into throw. He has a very good option if you expect your Deejay player to do a lower and overhead or even a high. But do be a bit careful about doing it if he has level 2. If a Deejay player is very, very tight, they can level 2 cancel this. And they can just buffer it. It's not the easiest cancel in the world. It's definitely possible, and you will die. It's an unscaled level 2 starter, which is going to do, as it's DJ, very fair amounts of damage.
Infinite. You can't do anything about the infinite that he has when you are on burnout. Jab, fireball, 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 fireball. You can't do anything when he has that.
Next, Angry Bird brings up the infinite of DJ, which is performed by stand jab, crouch meter punch, heavy fireball. This infinite is only an infinite with OD gauge. As soon as it runs out, can no longer repeat the process. So we're going to cover how he does that. First, the infinite will be started with a heavy fireball most of the time, or by stand jab, crouching medium punch, and on crouching opponent, he gets 4 reps. On standing, he only gets 3. So if he's going for 4 reps and you stand block the last one, the stand jab crouch meter punch will whiff and you will get a whiff punish, helping you escape. We'll just show this now with a stand block. Pay attention to the number of reps he's done. Now we'll cover how he extends it. DJ's best way to extend the infinite is to do a crouching meter punch into an OD sobat and continue from there. Now, the crouching meter punch will be done after a couple of reps, we'll say around here, and it will leave him relatively close. Enough to do 2 reps, but no more. Then he will repeat the process there. If you were to block this out, you're going to take around 30% chip. If you will build super before you take that 30% chip. The super build's quite large. But if you know he only get 2 reps after the OD sub before his button will whiff, it's your time to act. In order to be able to keep this going, you'll have to spend OD sobat immediately. And that will put him in burnout. From there, of course, as we've covered, you can no longer repeat this process. If you are willing to sit there and take the chip, chances are DJ may put himself in burnout. There is a second infinite I'd like to bring up real quick, which involves OD Just Cool. OD Just Cool into low is +2 on blocking burnout, and is a true string, but we'll call out super mash. So trying to mash super during the hits will get you hit and give DJ a full combo. In burnout, be especially careful of OD Just Cool, as if you are mistaken and try mashing super, you will get hit in a standing state. If I set Ken here to not switch block, but instead only do a standing block, you'll see he gets hit low, and there's nothing he can do about it. If I set him to mash, well, a level 1 super, he'll still get hit. There's nothing you can do about this besides blocking it, after which DJ can repeat the process, unless you mash after the low. Which of course will be baited. Nevertheless, pay attention.
And the heavy punch that he does puts him back. It pulls him back. So you can't check that shit from the space.
Angry Bird makes a super large point about this, and frankly it's extremely incorrect and a bunch of misinformation. DJ's stand heavy punch has 0 retraction during its startup frames, and to argue as such is silly. Same with Ryu's Hashigeki for people who think that because he pulls himself back in animation and the hurtbox moves back, it does not. As you see here on 50% speed, I'm going to press heavy punch, and not once does he move back, in fact he only moves forward. Now, checking DJ's drive rush is basically an impossibility, and there's no arguing against that, because drive rush in its current state is nothing special, nothing great, nothing very fun to fight. However, DJ's stand heavy punch from full screen is one of his only ways to pressure you, and a very important part about DJ's heavy punch is that it's similar to 4, and it whiffs on crouches. Now, if you were wanting to check this drive rush from full screen, and he wanted to do something like say DR, crouch medium punch, make it completely unreactable, the only button that could possibly reach you is slide, standing heavy kick, standing heavy punch. Nothing else will reach from this spacing, as well as DR forward medium kick. If you wanted to check the drive rush, you can stick to a low button. Of course, you're still at threat of getting whiff punished by this, but this is a hard read from Deejay to do a very whiff punishable button themselves. So, you got to crouching light kick or crouching mean kick could do the wonders here. This is not to say you're going to check crouch the drive rush every single time and do well, but it's to say that you should be checking it with a standing button, as Angry Bird shows in the video. Small thing. We like the infinite. Give everyone an infinite. If you go into burnout, it's your own damn fault. It's the one opinion you get of this whole inconsistencies thing.